I've spent the last 3 months building my first ever video game. It's been a lifelong goal of mine to contribute to an art form that I've loved since as long as I can remember. It's very early in the process, but I feel like it's at a point where I can share some updates. So this video is an introduction to what I'm working on. The game itself is an action platformer, which is a genre that I've loved since I first started gaming, playing Sonic 1 on the Sega Mega Drive and Rayman 1 on the PS1, which is still my favorite game to this day. And you'll probably see a lot of inspiration from Rayman, especially in the attack mechanics later on. So here is my game so far. I'm building the entire thing in Godot 4. I found it to be a really great engine. The learning curve isn't too bad and it does everything I need it to do. I have about 10 years experience in other areas of development, so I've been able to transition into game development a little bit easier, but it's definitely still tough to figure out. The art style in my game is pixel art. I'm drawing everything myself using aseprite and resprite, but I'll hopefully have some help later on down the line to clean things up. In terms of actual progress of where the game's at so far, I have a lot of the technical stuff done, which is where I started because I wanted to lay a solid foundation. So I have the file structure, scenes, global options, and functional menus with the ability to load, save, and reset the settings. Visually, of course, I'm going to be revisiting all of these menus. I'll be adding fonts, backgrounds, animations, transitions. I have a whole idea of the menu system planned out, but that will come a little bit later. I also have a music player and sound effects player hooked up, but at the moment, it's all just placeholder sounds. I also plan to dive into the music production side of this, but again, later on. For me, laying the foundation was the most important place to start, making sure all of these core things are working and then building gameplay on top of it. In terms of gameplay, the level you see here is purely just a playground for me to build and test my character's mechanic. Obviously, the actual level design will come later on, but I have basic movement completed for the most part, so I can walk, jump, wall slide, wall jump, dash, crouch, and look up. A lot of these states have their own challenges and features, like the crouch and look up state having camera panning, or using jump and fall curves throughout the jump states. But it's been a really good opportunity to break down what makes a platformer feel good. I've already implemented a lot of the quality of life features you need in a platformer, like coyote time, corner correction, edge detection, jump buffering. For my first game, these are all massive learning curves, and the things that you notice in other games, but actually coming to implement them was a different story. There's still a few little tweaks I need to make to these states, particularly with momentum carrying over between states, and also a bunch of bugs to fix. But overall, I'm really happy with how the movement feels to play. One of the big things I've been wrestling with in my game is acceleration and deceleration curves, which is basically how long it takes to speed up to max speed or slow down to a stop during movement. Personally, I really don't like slidey platformers. I hate feeling like I'm wrestling with the game, but I also do like to feel some kind of weight to the character. So I have a very small acceleration curve, and you'll see deceleration happen when you transition to certain states, like going from a walk to a crouch. During gameplay, I've already built a pause menu so you can change your settings within the game. But again, like the other menus, I'll revisit this and spruce it up later. I won't go too much into the technical details of things here. I have a playlist of short devlogs I've been making, so I can spend a little bit more time on each feature and explain how it works. So check that out if you want a bit of a deeper dive into each one. Lastly, gameplay wise, I started very basic work on my attacks, so I'll share a little bit more about this later, but anyone who played Rayman 1 will recognize this kind of boomerang attack. In terms of the whole scope of the game, it has a story that you'll progress through as you take my character on an adventure. The game itself is going to be broken down into worlds and levels within those worlds. I don't want to say too much about that side of the game yet, but there's definitely going to be boss fights and different abilities the character can do. And the goal is those abilities will give you different ways to navigate across the world and have different effects against certain enemies. I still don't have a name for the character or the game yet, so whenever that pops into my head, I'll let you know. I'm taking this whole journey piece by piece and just enjoying the process along the way. Obviously, being my first game, I've kept the scope quite tight. As I said before, I'm definitely going to have help here and there on various different things, but for the most part, it's a solo project. My goal is to just make a really good game and provide a really good experience for anyone who plays it, whilst being able to learn all the fundamentals of building a game from scratch. My plan with this channel is at each big milestone of the game, I'm going to make a video recapping what I've done and the future plans, alongside the smaller short form devlogs. So this video is basically welcome to the channel. And if you like the look of the game and want to follow along the journey, then feel free. Also, if you have any questions about the game, just throw them in the comments. Apart from that, thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.